Hello and welcome back to Better Than Adventure, and, I feel like mobs should only spawn in the darkness, no matter what. Though it would be interesting, this is, like, kind of the issue I feel. There's, like, a difference between Minecraft, and I'm gonna just call it AdventureCraft, I know that's, like, a mod. But I feel like there's a difference between Minecraft and, like the game, where you run around and you build stuff, and the idea of this Minecraft as like a exploration game where you like, have an adventure, fight mobs, that sort of stuff, right? Because for instance, you could imagine how if you could balance Minecraft around the local difficulty thing, when you have 3 and you have local difficulty on modern versions. What you could do is, it's happening. What you could do is you could have a similar system in beta Minecraft, Imagine if, like, the game punished you for staying in one spot for too long. By continuously making things. I hate how the sheep always gets in the way. It's incredible, truly. Like, you could basically make it so if you stay in one place for too long, the hordes will get stronger. Eventually, they'll be able to bust down doors. Eventually, the, like, variants which don't burn in the sun will spawn. Eventually, it'll get harder and harder and harder and harder until eventually, it may, like, basically the game would continuously try to push you towards, that, and maybe you would hear, like, the sound of what sounds like 20 creepers outside, because, a creeper wave has spawned. And if you anger one of those creepers, that's a chain explosion. You could be really mean to the player. And maybe if that was what you were going for in a mod, that could work. But then it's not a game that's really like Minecraft. Because Minecraft is very much a game designed around, running around, building things, and just kind of thriving, And I feel like that kind of AdventureCraft could work really well if, for instance, what you were playing was, a Twilight Forest sort of mod, where, like, you can imagine a world where it's sort of linear, so you can kinda, there's no real reason to stay in one place for too long. You could imagine how that sort of, like, if you have a mod pack based around that, then you could disincentivize the player to, from sitting in one place for too long. You could maybe have a system where they have, like, an expanded inventory, so their base would really need to be only as basic as a simple house. Maybe you could rationalize it by, like, the player as being haunted by evil mobs. I don't know. There's a lot you could do, and I feel like it's a shame I have never seen a mod ever try to take advantage of such a thing, because I feel like it could work really well, It could be an interesting idea for a mod pack. The issue, of course, is, as you may know, mod packs are kind of weird. It's kind of like how indie games in recent times have to deal with, there's recently been sadly, a scourge of, like, streamer bait games, where they're, like, shitty, cheaply made games whose entire purpose is, oh yeah, we need to make a game that would be kind of funny for, like, a streamer to play for the child audience. Recently, there's a game where you have to not shit your pants, and you do that in some fashion, somehow. I don't actually know how the game works. I've only seen IGN, like, post a trailer for it. And the funny thing is, there are so many other indie games that people don't know about, that I don't know about, because it does really feel like the only indie games which ever get any kind of attention are the streamer bait ones. Because the streamer bait ones are always like the wackiest, the zaniest, the streamer baitiest, so people talk about them, you know? It's like the term, whoever thought of the term friend slop was fucking cooking, you know? Because I don't think they're very wrong, you know? Also, yeah, the world has a lot of grass, so I'll add some grass to the place. And hopefully, it'll look fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use all the bones. I wonder if I have more back at home. I don't know. But yeah, like, that's kind of the issue, I feel, with a lot of the modern indie games. And I feel like that sort of wackiness has kind of hit the mod pack scene for Minecraft. Back in the day, one of the most popular mods was something like Tekkit, you know, or Feed the Beast. But I see a lot of people talk about, like, mods that are basically designed to be, like, very difficult, like, YouTuber bait mods. Not better than Wolves. I feel like that set, like, that mod, has been designed with with a completely sort of unique experience in mind, and I feel it's unfair to call it that. But while you can't call Better Than Wolves that, I can call RL Craft that, because that's basically what it is. It's like real life craft. Or whatever. But the RL just stands for really fucking lame, but they can't have it RFL Craft, because then it'd have to be censored on, like, because you can't have swear words on the mod page. But yeah, it's that kind of situation. And, like, you can't even tell, right? You can't even tell that this is, well, I mean, you can kind of tell, but I feel like it is actually genuinely difficult to tell from some angles that this is not, like, me transplanting, like, real terrain. Shit. Okay, well, that could have been bad. How do I get up there? Okay, I have a worrying lack of ways to climb into the fucking upper layer of the tree farm. So, yeah. I don't know how long I'll be using the waterfall blocks, sorry, the waterfall to get up there, but we'll see. Anyways, yeah, the next part will be setting up the other dome. And, I'll make the other dome feel a lot less, tree heavy. Actually, I think I'm going to make it a desert, which has a very big set of problems. I have the sand, don't you worry. However, you may be realizing the desert will still need a large amount of you know, it'll still need a large amount of sand, but also dirt underneath it. Come on. This is not gonna be enough sand, not even close. But I'm gonna have to just kind of deal with it. Hey, at least I won't have to spend resources on fucking bone meal. I Where's this going? Hold on, hold on. Okay, wait. Wait a minute. But yeah, one thing which I do kind of find funny is, that area doesn't even look that unnatural. Okay, but where does this go? Seriously. Herobrine? No, no Herobrine. Anyways, yeah, it is kind of funny how, I mean, you can see a big tree from here. That's basically all you can see. But yeah, you'll see, like, something up there, because this thing looks so alien, it looks so unnatural. There's no way anything, you know, it's like that meme where the guy, you know, spits out his cereal, where it's like, there's no way anything, like, there's no way a cool biome, like, there's no way a cool terraformed part of a biome is going to be up there. And then he goes up there very slowly. I have to really... Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have... I don't know what kind of bridging I'll use, but I'll have some way... Oh, I may just put it up here so you have to walk across, and then I may put, like, some kind of fencing around here, which will kind of ruin the look a little bit, but it is what it is. For now, I'm going to just do this. And put, like, some torches. Okay, so how do we do the sand area here? Well, the sand's always gonna have to be one layer below what we think it really needs to be. You know, if I want sand on the top layer, it means I'll need a layer of dirt underneath, so... That's why I'm doing this. And I won't immediately begin trying to... Actually, fuck it, I will. I'll just immediately begin to sort of, like, vary the shape. I'll change that later. But yeah. Here's the idea, right? I sort of want to have an environment that is relatively... visually untainted. The idea here is to be like, okay, these are like the little safe biomes up here. Nothing bad will happen here, you know, nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys, and then the cow disappears. That's the idea. The issue is, I feel, with, like, these kinds of builds, is that, oh, I'll need some cacti. I don't have that many. Oh, actually, no, I do, but they're back at the base. Uh-oh. But yeah, the idea is I'll have to spend so much time even attempting to make this stuff look a little bit presentable that it's gonna feel maybe a little bit annoying. I don't know. We'll see. Though, I feel like, yeah, this is just gonna be one valley with, I don't think... I may do a little oasis in the middle. I'm not even sure. I think I have some sugarcane. So it shouldn't be that... Yeah, but we're gonna have to remove all the torches later, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? But yeah. I do really, 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 really enjoy, like, just setting up little environments like this. And I thought about, would it be worth it to have some kind of dome over them? And I feel like that would kind of ruin their uniqueness, you know? Because I feel like what would make... I'm trying to get into the mind of someone who would be here for the first time. Like, let's say somebody really likes the series, but they didn't watch all the videos, and they somehow managed to get their hands on the world files. Maybe one day, I don't know. But, you know, imagine they're exploring a world that's kind of full of builds that they're unfamiliar with. What would make them attracted to this build specifically? Well, they just kind of see it as this big, weird industrial structure. But then, oh, it has some trees up there. huh? What's up here? And then they go up there, and they're like, wow, it's so, you know, lush up here. Well, as lush as you can get with the fucking beta biomes, but it is what it is. I guess it is also fall, so the coloring of the trees is going to be a little bit different, but you know. Yeah, also it is kind of funny how you can't, like, really have... You know, in real life, seasons, have the leaves fall off of trees, but imagine how difficult that would be to implement. I feel like the issue is that, there is no tree in Minecraft. There is just a sapling, and there's a log. It would be really, like, I could imagine a system of how Minecraft could keep track of its trees. After world generation, it would, like, every chunk would, but yeah, then what if a tree is in between chunks? Well, maybe you could make it so every chunk will keep track of, like, that and, like, let's call them edge cases for when a tree is in multiple chunks. So it would keep track of its leaves and its logs. And it would try to combine that with the existing data of the, like, existing sort of leaf decay system. So that it can, you know, actively and accurately simulate, you know, like, the trees losing and regaining their leaves. But what if the player doesn't want that for their build? What if the player can't quite, you know, deal with that very easily? What if you put a torch somewhere? What if the trees are used in something, you know, that's more functional in nature? So many questions, and the only, coherent, constant answer to not having a bunch of problems is to just not implement the feature, so it's never implemented. I don't know. But you could imagine how, in modern Minecraft, we would never get so many of the features here. Just imagine, I would be worried for, like, the health of some people at Mojang if they decided to, like, add seasons or, like, something like, you know, colored wood. Or, you know, I don't know, other stuff. It is kind of funny, though, how, like, the rocks in beta, like, Better Than Adventure, the way they handle these is so much better than it is in vanilla. Because in vanilla, you have, like, deep slate, which is basically basalt, which, why would it spawn at the bottom of the world? I don't know, but you have that. You have deep slate, which isn't slate. You have normal stone, which is slate. And then in this game, you also have, like, granite and limestone. And in Minecraft normal, you have andesite and diorite and granite, but no limestone. And it's all in tiny pockets in the normal slate layer. And it makes no sense! It's stupid. It doesn't make any logical sense. But it is what it is. And the ending consequence of the way Minecraft's, like, biomes are designed is that nobody understands... Sorry, like, the rock system is that nobody has a realistic idea of how rocks work in real life. In real life, you don't have tiny pockets of rocks. And so in Minecraft Beta, you know, you have, Better Than Adventure, sorry, you have, the normal rocks, you know, which are basically slate. However, you can then put them into a blast furnace and reform them into actual slate. And you can turn it into this stuff. And then you just have granite and limestone, and if you go deep down, you have basalt. Sorry, is it exactly, like, accurate to real life? No. But it's more accurate and more visually pleasant, I believe. Purely because it means that you have so many different kinds of rocks, you know? It basically just makes it so when you're playing the game, it's, you know, the environment feels a lot less samey. And I feel like that's a big issue with modern Minecraft. And also an issue which a lot of different mods don't really help solve. Because you have those better will gen mods where it's all about, oh yeah, look at how cool the environment we've made looks. It looks so impressive from a distance. You know, it has all these big mushrooms, these big, you know, things. But that's not really what is fun to build in, at least not for people like me. I remember we tried to run a mod that added those kinds of, you know, it added that kind of terrain to the base game. We really didn't play much because it felt so unnatural. And it felt like there was no real point in building anything because it looked sort of complete. The biomes in normal Minecraft are so basic that they're kind of designed around the idea that you would naturally sort of maybe change them up a little bit, add some stuff of your own. But the biomes in a lot of the like biome mods that try to like fix the biomes, they don't understand what made Minecraft's biomes so cool. Like, one thing which is nice in beta is that the biomes are so sort of subdued that it just kind of feels natural, you know? Like, there is no beach biome. There is no... I'll put the lake in this sort of side. So I'll have it be entirely sand. So it'll only go one deep. Now I'll have to then use... Yeah, okay. And then I'll have, like... Yeah, it'll be, like, one deep. This is going to be the border. And then this is going to be, like, the dirt surrounding. I'm gonna have to get some bone meal again. I don't know where I'll get it from. But yeah, this is sort of the idea. Kind of like this. But yeah, like, you know, and then... You know, this will be where, like, a few trees will be, like some palm trees or whatever. And then the rest of this will just be sand. I'll go and... Oh, we're fine. I'll go and get some sand. And then, you know, that'll maybe be it. But yeah. Okay. I still love how there's just that E over there. Oh. Okay, we're fine. I was not worried at all, not even slightly. Not even a little worried I would splat into the floor. Okay, well, we can now head back up and plant a lot of the sand. It is really fun going up the waterfall very, very slowly. But oh well. If that, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because, yeah, playing better than adventure makes me think a lot about modern Minecraft because I feel like one thing is doing this kind of project in modern Minecraft, if anything, would just take less time. But I feel like because modern Minecraft is so much faster... Where did you go? Oh, we got a baby chicken. A full-size chicken, sorry. I feel like because modern Minecraft is so much larger scale than beta is, all the builds that are already kind of impressive in beta aren't as impressive in modern Minecraft, if that would make sense, you know? Like, okay, you've made a cool build in beta Minecraft. Well, bucko, guess what? doing the same build in modern Minecraft. Yeah, well, it's not as difficult. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to even really, like, nail down the reasons for enjoying beta Minecraft, but I think they're kind of self-explanatory in a way, where you either completely get it, you know, you have that moment, you feel like that one scene of Danny DeVito, or you just, like, completely don't understand, it feels completely foreign to you, and, like, really there's nothing I can do to explain it, because if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's kind of like with RPGs. If all you see is two wizards waving wands at each other during a fight in fucking Xenoblade Chronicles, if that's all you see, specifically Xenoblade 1, you know, if when Shulk is fighting some fucking Macron or whatever in the story, if all you see is a wizard swinging a magical wand, and you're wondering, where is my gun, where is my ball? I think there are both guns and balls in the game. You know, you're gonna be like, you're never gonna like it. You're never gonna understand what people enjoy so much about it. And it is sad. It is sad. But there's only so much you can really do to interest someone in something if it's very clear that they do not care to be interested in it. And I feel like that's kind of sad. Not only not caring for something, like, in a sort of way where, you know, I guess performatively, I think that's what I'm thinking of, like, performatively not caring about something to the degree where you will actively fight not to know anything about something, just so you can be misinformed and ignore, like, what people say about it. Oh, and if you want to hear my final thoughts on something before the video ends, because I know it's a bit of a longer one, because, yeah, I'm gonna place the sand in the next video, or whatever, or actually I'm gonna go back down, just put the sand back into the chest, maybe, and then, I don't know. Maybe, nah, this is going quite quickly, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you can see by the video length. I wanted to mention Undertale quickly, because I'm never gonna mention it otherwise. I've been asked about this before, not for the channel, thankfully, but for other stuff, which is, oh yeah, well, you've played the indie game, and you've played the RPG, so have you considered Undertale? No! For one, I don't really care for the sort of RPG thing that games like Earthbound go for. It's not what I look for in my RPGs. For two, Undertale just doesn't appeal to me. It's very much a game designed around the wow factor of not knowing what happens in it, and even if it was against my consent, I know what happens in the game. It was more unavoidable than Silent Hill 2, because I managed to avoid spoilers for Silent Hill 2. So the end result of all of this is not only do I know enough about the story to not be interested in it, I also just do not want to engage with that stuff, because I feel like, especially with YouTube, I mean, I know the kind of shit Markiplier went through when he played the game, because he wasn't playing the game in the right way. And this is kind of a sad thing which happens. I mean, it's kind of like a Kerbal Space Program, where a lot of the time people who try to stream the game get, like, real fans of the game TM annoyed. I mean, it certainly kind of pains me when I see somebody playing the game in the stupidest way possible. But there's no other way to learn the game except playing like a moron until you figure out how things work. Unless you're building, you know, maybe by Shitfuck 27 you'll figure out how the game works. Maybe not. And I feel like, with Undertale specifically, that fandom is, kind of inseparable from the game, more than what I could say for some other stuff. Because, you know, it's like, oh yeah, well, you don't want to play the game because of the fandom? Buddy, somebody tried to literally, from what maybe I'm getting this wrong, but didn't somebody literally try to, like, murder someone at a convention? By putting, like, nails in someone's food? I remember reading about something like that, and it's like, no, goodbye. I am not dealing with. No, sorry. If these are the kinds of fans that are in something, I'm going to avoid it. And I know some people are gonna brand that as weak. Oh, you don't want to touch something because, like, the other people who are touching it are, like, kind of insane and whatever. Yeah, I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable when I play a game that I know is almost exclusively... not almost exclusive, but where, like, I just do not want to have any kind of association with that kind of person, and if, they are such a fan of something that I already have no real interest in, I'm going to just be pushed away further. And yeah, I mean, you can argue that it's weak. Maybe it is. It's not gonna change my mind, though. Like, I give a shit about, like, performative strength. Like, does this channel look like I'm somebody who would care about, like, appearing super tough, super strong? Nah, I'm just a guy. It's not like I'm some hyper mega whatever, you know? You can't trick me like that. You have to use other tricks. Anyways, yeah, longer video, I'm away, but I wanted to get rid of all the sand. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.